Would you say that cameras are slipping behind phones in night photography? You get an iPhone or whatever, or the newest, I don't know, Galaxy or something. Most of them now have a night mode that will actually get you a photo of the night sky. But your average camera doesn't have a night mode. That really, like one that will get you a Milky Way shot that you could, like you say, you just point it at the Milky Way and just hold it. But the stabilization and all the computational stuff that they're building into phones now, people are actually getting night photos from their phones with no knowledge whatsoever of settings. They're literally just pointing it and pressing it.
Yeah.
Do you think cameras are going to try and catch up to that?
I think someone will come up with that. And typically that would be Sony who do, because they're the innovators in camera manufacturers. Before I answer that totally,
I'd also keep an eye on OM systems. They often bring up freaky little features like that sometimes.
And features.
Modes, they can do.
Yeah, that's true. You have to realise that camera manufacturers, I'm talking about particularly Canon and Nikon, and across the board, but particularly those two as being the longer serving just camera people. They like to hold on to a tradition, and they like to hold on to where they've come from and what they are and what they stand for. Other companies who are newer to the party tend to be a little bit more innovative. I mentioned Sony because they are newer to the party. And Greg, you mentioned Olympus and OM. They are under a fair bit of pressure to come up with things, and I think that's why they do that. But when it comes to phones, I can tell you there's one area where phones are far superior to mirrorless cameras or DSLRs or anything else, and that is the screen technology. Now you can go, it's like you can go out, you take your phone out into the bright sunshine and you can see everything on that phone. You take your camera out and you think, I can't see a thing on the screen. It's covered in writing. It's too small. That is the number one thing and I don't know why the big camera manufacturers don't improve the quality of their screens, because the technology is obviously there to do it. The problem with phones is, of course, is the tiny, small sensor that's in it. There's only so much you can do with physics. And so when you put a phone picture onto Instagram, for example, it looks fantastic, but obviously on a full screen of a computer. Now, AI is changing that to some degree because it can upscale, it can do all sorts of things. But I think you're right, Justin. I don't think any camera at this point in time is a point and shoot to take a brilliant nightscape photograph, because they're just a little bit too hard to drive.
Yeah, which is where you come in with all of your education.